A very good evening, everyone. Sukiotu brothers and sisters in the Dharma. Welcome to MSBS Dharma Sharing Online. Today is Monday, 10 August 2020. We have Didi Leng Huat with us tonight to share the Maha Mangala Sutta, chanting and explanation. This is the continuation from last week's talk. This program is jointly organized by Mahasatipatthana Buddhist Society, Dhammacakka Buddhist Vihara, Mudita Buddhist Society, and supported by Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. Over to you, Didi Leng Huat.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, it's nice to be back. And let us all recite together what is shown on the screen. Let's compose ourselves. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang pujemi, Dhammang pujemi, Sanghang pujemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, brothers and sisters in Dhamma, let us recite the Maha Mangala Sutta together, then we shall continue with our sharing. Maha Mangala Sutta. Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savatiyang viharati jetavane anata pindikasa arame atako anyatara devata abhikantaya ratiya abhikantavanna kevala kappang jetavanang ovasetva yena bhagavate nupasangkami upasangkami tva bhagavantang abhivadetva ekamantang attasi ekamantang tita kosa devata bhagavantang ghataya ajjabasi Bahudeva manussa ca manggalani acintayung akan kemana sottanang bruhi manggala muttamang asevana ca balanang panditanang ca sevana Puja ca pujaniyanang etang manggala muttamang patirupa desa vaso ca pubbe ca kata punyata atta samma panidhi ca etang manggala muttamang bahu satcanca panca vinayo ca susikito subhasita ca ya vaca etang manggala muttamang mata pitu upattanang putta dharasa sanggaho anakula ca kammanta etang manggala muttamang Dhananca dhammacariya ca nyatakananca sanggaho anavajjani kammani etang manggalamuttamang Arati virati papa majjapana cha sanyamo appamado cha dhammesu etang mangalamuttamang garavo cha nivato cha santutti cha katanyuta kalena dhamma savanang etang mangalamuttamang kanti cha sova chassata samananang cha dasanang kalena dhamma sakacca etang mangalamuttamang tapo cha brahmacariyan cha arya saccana dasanang nibbana saccikiriya cha etang mangalamuttamang puttassa loka dhammehi cittang yasana kampati asokang virajang kemang etang mangalamuttamang etadisani katwana sabbatta maparajita sabbatta sutting gaccanti tang tesang mangalamuttamang te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, Sukihotu, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, we will review what we have actually discussed last week. We'll briefly tell you what we have done. We have actually spoken about the 4 pillars of Buddhism, and we are the 2 pillars as the ladies, the lay devotees, the ladies and the men. We make out the 2 pillars, very important. And also we have introduced to you our Mr. Anatha Pindika, whose original name was Sudatta, and how he met the Buddha, and how the Buddha taught him how to offer dana. That was during his bad times, of course, when he became poor. When he was able to serve only very simple food, so the Buddha told him that it's not an issue. That's why we introduced Mangala Sutta to you, the dana, to offer dana with the correct idea, with the correct perception. And then we also spoke a little bit on the karma, about the deity that was residing in Anatha Pindika's residence, where he was very unsuitable company, where Anatha Pindika actually drove him away. Okay, for the teachings last week, we managed to do stanza number 1, Asevanacha Bala Nang. I call that stanza number 1, but prior to that, there were introductory stanzas. So we will call this as stanza number 1. So we have learned that not to associate with fools, and we have defined fools for you. Okay, fools as in the dictionary and also from the Buddhist perspective. That is the doctrinal fool. People who doesn't believe in law of karma, people who doesn't follow the 5 precepts, people who doesn't believe in anicca. So that is the doctrinal fool, we say. And then we have introduced to you also a little Anatha Pindika. Maybe I will just repeat this part, whereby we say that Anatha Pindika has a son, and he was more interested in running his father's business, spending a lot of time doing business, not spending time in the Dhamma. So the father tried to influence him, wanted to attract him so that he doesn't spend too much time on material world, in the material world, business all the time. So offered him 1,000 pieces of gold to spend the Upasata day with them. But then the Anatha Pindika realized that didn't attract him too much, didn't attract him to the Dhamma so much. So Anatha Pindika offered another 1,000 pieces of gold to him if he could just visit the Buddha and learn 1 stanza and come back and repeat that stanza, 1,000 pieces of gold. So I was very happy he went, but the Buddha knew about the intention of another Pindika. So the Buddha made the stanza more complicated so that that young man could not just learn and then go back. So he had to spend more time there trying to memorize that stanza. Eventually, he spent the whole day there, and he also became very attracted to Dhamma, and he became a Sotapanna there. And then he became a very strong supporter of the Sangha also. That's why he's known as Little Anatha Pindika. So there are two Anatha Pindikas. And also we introduce you to his wife, and that's where the Buddha introduced to her the seven kind of wife, the 7 types of wife that you have. And of course, the one that we didn't mention last week was his nephew. Okay. Now, Anatha Pindika has a nephew. Don't forget, when he met the Buddha, he went to his brother's house. So he has a nephew who inherited about 40 million pieces of gold. His nephew inherited. However, his nephew spent it all very quickly. He spent it all very quickly. Then he has no more money. So the nephew came back to another Pindika, went to uncle's house and said, "Uncle, give me some money." Uncle was a very kind man. So uncle gave him another 1,000 pieces of gold, hoping that he can go and start some business. Give him some money, go and start business. But instead he spent all the money again. Then he came back and said, "Uncle, I still want more money." So uncle again, being a very kind man, kita peranakan cakap tak sampai hati lah, gave him some more lah, tak sampai hati lah, tak mau bagi ni tak boleh. Uncle being a kind man, gave him this time 5 times the amount. That means 5,000 pieces lah. And hopingly that he'll take this money and do some business again, and recover back all his lost wealth. He was born very wealthy, don't forget, he has got 40 million pieces of gold. He took the 5,000 pieces, spent it again, came back to uncle and said, "Uncle, I'm broke again, give me some money." So this time uncle thought no point giving money lah. Give money all the time. What happened is he spent all the money also. So uncle said, "Never mind, I give you some textile now. Take this textile, go back and at least go and sell them and earn a living. Earn a living and slowly build up your business again." That was uncle's intention. So uncle offered him that textile. He took that thing. He also went shortcut, sold the thing, came back bankrupt again. So asked uncle again, "Uncle, money again, uncle. I got no more money." This time uncle was a bit annoyed. I think that we also get annoyed sometimes. People come and ask so many times. So what the uncle did was, the uncle told him, "Go away, I'm not giving you money this time. 3 times already gave you, 4 kali tak boleh lah." So did not give him this time. Then he went out broke lah. Broke then one day uncle heard the news that he actually died lah. He died. And then they found his body thrown in some rubbish bin or some rubbish heap lah. So very sad lah, very sad ending for a very rich man. So uncle felt very guilty lah. Uncle thought if uncle had given him some money, this won't happen. He would have died a wretched lah. So uncle felt very bad. Uncle also tak boleh tidur lah, pening kepala also lah. So uncle went to visit the Buddha. So uncle asked the Buddha, "Now this happened to my nephew. Had it been better if I had given him the money?" So Buddha says, don't regret, don't worry. He said, because this chap is like that. He's destined to die this way because he doesn't know to take care of himself. He's a bottomless pit lah. Whatever you give him also finish. Whatever you give him also finish. No point. So the Buddha told Anatha Pindika, don't regret, don't feel bad about it. Don't worry. If you had given to him, if this will still happen, okay? Because he does not know how to control his enjoyment, okay? Then after that, of course, Anatha Pindika felt very much better lah. So that story I didn't tell you this last week lah. So this week we tambah the nephew story lah. Okay, so now, and also we covered about Chula Pantaka story, whereby we said that it's not necessary to know the whole volume of suttas that are behind you. You must know everything in order to become enlightened, not necessary. A wise man is somebody who can just understand what the Buddha says you can spend a moment on contemplation of impermanence, I think that is very good. Okay, so we have covered 3 blessings. So today, we shall continue with stanza number 2. I call it stanza number 2. Okay. So stanza number 2 has got 3 blessings there again. They've got blessing number 4, Pati Rupa, but no. I think this is gone ahead already. You got to go stand a bit. Pati Rupa. Okay. This is stanza. Okay. So stanza number 2, Pati Rupa Desava Socha. Upbecha kata punyata atta samma panidicha etang mangala muttama. Here the Buddha says is Pati Rupa Desa. So you see the word Desa, it's just a Bahasa Melayu lah. We don't have to be Pali scholars, but we just identify some words here and there lah. And then we can understand the stanza when you chant. It becomes very meaningful, and you will have the joy in chanting. Here the word Desa, we learned that means to say that to reside in the suitable locality. To reside in the suitable locality, we know lah. You will stay in the place which is, you got good neighborhood, harmonious neighbors, wise neighbors, people are not corrupted, people are helpful. So these are the normal things that we define as good neighborhood. Let's not forget also from a doctrinal point of view, if you go to the Dhammapada verse 98, here it says that whether in village or in the forest, in valleys or on hills, where the Arahants dwell, delightful indeed is that spot. So for us, from the Buddhist point of view also, we believe that the place where an Arahant has stayed, a lot of vibes, the vibes will be very much stronger. So we, from a doctrinal point of view, we say that also, this is also a good place to stay. If we know that an Arahant has been there, that is a good place. It's rather than just a good place, how we define just now lah. So that one will be our verse number 4. And now this is verse number 2, Pati Rupa Desava Socha. And then we say that also, don't forget, we say that Upecha Kata Punyata. That is also to have done meritorious deeds in the past. What does it mean? To have done meritorious deeds in the past. What does it mean? So basically, we all say that done karma lah, correct? So if we say that, many of us will think that this is karma, that where you stay, you get good neighbors, not good neighbors, you get good house, not good house, big bungalow, small bungalow. It is because of your past karma, right? Here again, we will say that it is past karma, you have to define again. What is past karma? It is not your past life karma, okay? From the Buddhist point of view, in this part, we don't say it is what you have done in the past, not your past life, Your karma is not all from the past life. Karma, if all the karma, if we are here today, I am here today as Brother Tan, because of my past karma, my past life karma alone is not true at all. It is not true. Then that is the view of the pre-Buddhistic religion, where they believe in karma as fatalistic. Don't forget, for us Buddhists, karma is not fatalistic. Remember? That is the difference. Karma is not invented by the Buddha. Karma was practiced. This word also was there all along, even before he became the Buddha. Okay, karma was there. Karma existed, except that their view on karma is different. The views that the people had was different from what the Buddha had. So the Buddha re-explained karma as not fatalistic. Our karma from the Buddhist point of view is not fatalistic. That karma can be changed. That is the main difference between our karma and karma of the other religion. Our karma is not fatalistic. And coming back to this point, whereby we say that you have done meritorious deed. Yes, you have done meritorious deed, then we say that you got a good place to stay. Very good. You know, these are all interrelated, stanza number 2. So you have done past good deeds, you have got a good place to stay, a good neighborhood. It is not only for a past karma, not previous life karma. Yes, for your past karma from this life. Because when you had the neighbor, you must have been nice to that neighbor for the neighbor to reciprocate. Right? The neighbor was nice because you were nice. And you were friendly, they became even more friendly. But if you started off with, if you had a bad start with your neighbor, then all the relationship will be spoiled. Right? For instance, you see. So now, the fact that you have this big house is not because of your past life karma. It is because of, yes, the past life karma, you are born as so and so. But because of your present life, that you work very hard, that you earn this house. Okay? And you have this house, you're a successful man. So that's why you say karma is not fatalistic. So karma, that is one we will again elaborate later when you come to other parts. So karma is not fatalistic from a Buddhist point of view. It can be changed through our hard work, through the right effort. It can be changed. We can be born poor, but you work hard, you can become rich. You become successful. You can be born rich, you don't work, you can squander all the money, and you can just fall back and become poor. So this is the Buddhist point of view. From the Buddhist point of view. So when you have these good neighbors and all that, it's not necessarily from your past birth karma. This karma is from the past birth. You are born and destined to stay in Malaysia, yes. But when you're in Malaysia, you work very hard. The opportunities were there. You work very hard, you became successful, you moved on to stay in a nice place. And there again, you started off with nicely with your neighbor, and you became good friends, and you have a nice neighborhood. So that is what we say, that karma is not fatalistic from the Buddhist point of view. So that is the fifth blessing, to have done meritorious past and meritorious actions in the past. So again, remember our karma is like that. Then we go to you don't inherit. Okay. Then number 6. Number 6, we say to have set oneself on the right course. Okay? To set oneself in the right course. So what does that mean? Okay, now we come back and join 4, 5, and 6. Blessings number 4 says that you live, you have good neighborhood. Number 5 says you have done the blessing. Number 5 says you have done meritorious deeds in the past. And now 6, it says to set oneself on the right course. So now we will summarize the whole thing. What does all this mean? Like I said just now, there are 4 kinds of people. There are 4 kinds of people. In Buddhism, we say there are 4 kinds of people. There is one, the first kind is tamo paraya. That means people who are born in darkness and they die, they go back to darkness. Okay? They're born in darkness, they went back to darkness. That is tamo paraya. Okay? The next kind of people that we meet is people who are also born poor. They are tamo, darkness, born in darkness, but they went into light, jyoti. Okay, so tamo, jyoti, paraya. From darkness to darkness, the second category of people is from darkness to brightness. Second category of people. So there are 4 kinds of people we say. And the third kind of person is the people who are born in brightness. Jyoti, tamo, paraya. That means from brightness, you went into darkness. That's the third category. Okay? And the fourth category are people who are born in brightness and they maintain the brightness. That is Jyoti, Paraya. So we have 4 kinds of people, remember? People from darkness to darkness, darkness to brightness, brightness to darkness, and brightness to brightness. Okay, let us revisit Anata Pindika so that we can understand this better. And then you can remember. Otherwise, sometimes you don't remember. But stories a bit can remember. Okay, we come back to the nephew, correct? Okay, no, okay, let me explain first. What is tamo paraya? Tamo paraya means you're born in darkness, means you're born poor, or you're born in a place where there's no food, there's no opportunity, and you continue to plunder, you continue to steal. Because you have no choice, no food, then you steal, you plunder, you fight, and you will go back to darkness. Correct? So it's darkness to darkness. The second category, people who are born poor. Okay? We heard many stories. People who are born poor, but they work very hard and they went into brightness. They were successful in the later part of their life. Now, maybe the younger generation may not have heard of this. There are many friends that we have last time who had to study under the lamppost. It is quite difficult to understand now for youngsters because when you are born, electricity was everywhere. But last time in the kampong, sometimes you have no electricity. So we have got people who studied under the lamppost. That was during my good old days when I was studying. There are some people, I was lucky, I got electricity at home. But there are some people who don't have. And recently also, I'm sure you remember that girl had to climb the tree to get the internet. You know, you forget? In Sarawak, because the village internet was so poor that she had to climb on the tree to get reception, to do her homework. Correct? But now she's in the university. So these are the people, they're born in darkness, but they went to brightness. They worked very hard. They put in the right effort. They went to brightness. They didn't go and do silly things when they were poor. Okay? So now second category. Third category is people who are born in brightness, went into darkness. Now, let us revisit our story. The story of Anatha Pindika. His nephew was born with 40 million pieces of gold. Equally as rich as Anatha Pindika actually. Anatha Pindika had how much? 56. It's 18 times 4. 52. So he has got 40 million pieces. Okay? But he used all this money, enjoyed all his money. Drinking, womanizing, gambling, you name it, night clubbing, all kinds of things he did. So he finished all his money. So he was born in brightness, but he went to darkness. Then he went to borrow money from his uncle. Uncle tried to help him again, gave him some light, but still he went to darkness. Came back, gave him light, went to darkness. So people who are born like that, we say people who are Jyoti Tamo Paraya, from brightness to darkness. These kind of people. So that's why we say in the past we are lucky. So, and there are another category of people like Anatha Pindika's son. His son was born rich, and Anatha Pindika managed to guide him to follow the Dhamma, and he became a Sotapanna. So he became rich again. So from richness to richness, from brightness to brightness. That is Jyoti Paraya. So there are these four categories of people. So which category are we in? So we have to be very careful. Many of us are very lucky. Some actually are also born in Tamil. Many of us, I was born in Tamil anyway. We are all born in darkness, but we work very hard and we move to brightness. Right? And our children are born in brightness. We must make sure that they maintain that brightness. So that is the duty of the father. We will come to another stanza later. That is duty of the father again. We must make sure that our children, whatever we give them, we must be for the better. Okay? So that is the blessings number 6. Blessing number 6. And from the doctrinal point of view also, we say that we refrain from unwholesome activities. Now, of course, you know, we must put in the right effort. Right effort means, you see, for us means to set ourselves in the right course is to believe in the law of karma, to observe the 5 precepts. That is from the Buddhist point of view. So we say also that to refrain from unwholesome activities and put in the right effort. We say put in the right effort. That is from the Buddhist point of view also. Effort to suppress bad thoughts that are rising. When we have got bad thoughts that are rising, we suppress the bad thoughts. The bad thoughts that have already arisen, we also suppress it and put it down. And we must cultivate or support the good thoughts that are already arisen. We support the good thoughts. And cultivate the good thoughts to arise. So that are the 4 efforts that we have put in from the doctrinal point of view. Okay, so now we go to we go to verse number 3. Verse number 3, it says vast learning. Here again, it says vast learning. Vast learning must understand the importance of education or training. So the 7th blessing the Buddha says is actually vast learning. One must have vast learning, meaning to say we must understand the importance of education or training. And I'm sure many of you know about this. So we do not have to elaborate too much, but we just can revisit another Pindika and see how he trained his son. He trained his son. His son is a very good boy, of course, but not interested in the Dhamma, only material world. So he redirected him a bit and spent some time here. So that is what we meant by vast learning. So we can use another Pindika also as an example, who he has looked after his son very well. He has trained his son very well. So that is vast learning, we say. Vast learning. And number 8 is what? Can get. Hold on. Okay, number 8 is Vinayocha Susikito. Highly trained discipline. Vast learning, perfect handicraft. Don't forget. Number 8 is perfect handicraft. Okay. Now, this is verse number 3. It says, Bahu satchancha sippancha vinayocha susikito. Subhasita chaya vacha etang mangalamuttamam. It means vast learning. We have covered vast learning. Vast learning means you must have a lot of education, you must learn a lot of things. Okay, now what is important is perfect handicraft. It says vast learning, perfect handicraft, and highly trained discipline. Okay, so now number 8 is perfect handicraft. What is perfect handicraft? And this is a very interesting subject. Okay, what is perfect handicraft? Of course, you become a good craftsman. You can cari makan. When you're a good craftsman, you can get a good, decent livelihood. That is perfect handicraft. From what we understand. Okay, okay. But if you go beyond that, perfect handicraft. Perfect handicraft, of course, if you were to, I don't know how many of us are aware here that some people, they say that Buddhists don't appreciate aesthetic beauty. That Buddhists are, oh, tak boleh, ini cantik tak boleh, itu cantik tak boleh, must be simple, must be simple, must be simple. We don't appreciate aesthetic beauty, which is not true. Look at this stanza to prove that point, that Buddhists actually are not so pessimistic that we don't accept beauty, aesthetic beauty, that is I'm saying. So it is not completely untrue. Look at this stanza, it says that you must have vast learning and perfect handicraft. What does it mean? You must do things that is very nice. Perfect handicraft. That means we appreciate nice things. Who say Buddhists cannot appreciate aesthetic beauty? Correct. So this is where we can prove to those critics who say that actually there are many critics, many books that say that Buddhists they don't appreciate aesthetic beauty. You know, they make us like as though we're zombies. You know, zombies. There's no to go temple, bye, already come back. You know, we don't enjoy life like in short, which is not true at all. The Buddha says that here we must have perfect handicraft. Now, we can enjoy a nice concert, why not? We can enjoy a nice show, why not? We can enjoy nice music, why not? Nobody says that we cannot enjoy music, you know. Only thing we don't like to enjoy the music that arouses you, arouses the lust you, we don't enjoy. Those nice pictures, love-making pictures, the Buddha doesn't agree. But pictures of beautiful, nice women, why not? Pictures of beautiful scenery, why not? So these are things that are acceptable in Buddhism. You look at this point, you can understand. Some people, there are a lot of critics who say that it's not true, but this is my point now. So Perfect handicraft means we can appreciate aesthetic beauty. Buddhism can appreciate aesthetic beauty. We can enjoy a good concert. We can enjoy good music. We can enjoy a nice painting. We can enjoy a beautiful lady. See a beautiful lady, so what? It's a beautiful lady. So we can see all this. Because the Buddha says, and the Buddha doesn't advocate, of course, pictures of love making. I said, I just repeated that. You know, okay, we will quote what the Buddha says. The Buddha, as it is for someone who lives mindfully, when repeatedly seeing a sight, feeling is ended, not added. Feeling is ended. When we see, and see, the feeling is ended, not added. Okay? Reducing suffering like this, it is said to be in the presence of Nibbana. So this is, we can, the important part of course here is, we can, what I'm trying to say is perfect handicraft is about, we must be able to, we must be able to appreciate aesthetic beauty. Again, the Buddha says here, they are not sense pleasure, the world's pretty things. They are not sense pleasure, the world's pretty things. Man's sensuality is the intention of lust. The pretty things remain as they are in the world, but the wise man removed the desire from them. So these things are actually a training for us, right? The wise man removed the desire from them. Things that fetters, you know, the eyes that fetters, you know, right? The lust and the desire for it is the fetter. Because there are forms cognizable by the eye, are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. If a bhikkhu sees delight in them, welcomes them, remains holding to them, this is called bhikkhu seeking delight, meaning you have entered into Mara's lair. Right? When you cling to this delight, you follow this delight, you seek this delight, you are actually following Mara's temptation. You are going into Mara's den. Okay? So that is what the Buddha says. So if you can be like a wise man, I told you just now, right? If someone who lives mindfully, who repeatedly seeing a sight, feeling is ended, not added. Reducing suffering like this is said to be in the presence of Nibbana. Okay, so that is what is meant here by we say that perfect handicraft. Perfect handicraft means you must, Buddhists are very optimistic also. We can enjoy beautiful things, but we don't get carried away. That is the meaning. We must restrain our five senses. We don't get carried away. We see a beautiful thing as beautiful. That's what the Buddha says. And it remains there. It becomes lustful only when we have desire for it. Then the lust is created by us, not the object. That object remains an object. Beauty remains beauty. That item remains good, finished. But we have converted it and so converted it to lust. Okay? So that is the blessings number 8. The Buddha says perfect handicraft. And also highly trained discipline. Highly trained discipline means we are people who has got some discipline. We follow the house rules wherever we go. When we visit something, we must follow the house rules. We understand the importance of house rules. We understand the importance of the precepts. We understand the importance of our duty. Duty as husbands, duty as wives. We have to understand our duty. And above all, highly trained discipline in today's world is also to understand. People like me, our age group, we must understand and appreciate IT. We must understand and appreciate IT. IT can do lots of wonder today. I'm talking to you from my home, from the comfort of my home. After that, I just have to go to bed. In the good old days, I could travel 1 hour to a center, and after that, I have to come back. I waste about 2.5 hours on the road. Now it's very simple. It's just 5 minutes from my bed. I just walk to my bed. I can go to bed. So that is why we also must learn to appreciate the importance of IT. That's why we say highly trained discipline. So we also must understand that that is a very highly trained discipline. We must also cope up lah. Try to cope up a bit lah. Don't just relax and say, oh yeah, I don't know. Initially, I also panic lah when you say go on Zoom. I also don't know what is Zoom. You could go on Facebook Live like this, to go and talk to you all like this. Very susah lah, But today we are more comfortable. So because we have that discipline with us. We appreciated these things. We appreciate the importance of this. So we have to do this. So that is why blessings number 9 is called the highly trained discipline. And that's from stanza number 3. Stanza number 4. Stanza number, oh no, sorry, we have one more. Stanza number 3, we have one more. We have got Subhasita cha yavacha. Yavacha, that means it's speech. So here it says that you must also maintain your pleasant speech. Pleasant speech, I think you didn't have to go much in detail because I'm sure you know what is pleasant speech, right? Pleasant speech is also your musavada, it's also pleasant speech. We refrain from telling lies, So this pleasant speech, I think if you go to your 5 precepts, you probably will understand what is pleasant speech. So pleasant speech is to not to tell lies, not to have harsh words, things like that. Yeah. I think that one, you can go back tonight before you sleep, you contemplate and see what is pleasant speech, and it helps you to practice, okay? Now, verse number 4. Mata pitu upattanang puttadara sasanggaho anakula cakamanta etang mangala muttamang. Okay, what does it say there? It says supporting of mother and father. That is the highest blessing. Supporting of mother and father. Why? Many of us are parents today, so we realize how much our parents have sacrificed for us. So we are doing the same to our children. We are sacrificing a lot for our children. But those who are not parents yet may not appreciate this. But one day you will become a parent yourself, and I'm sure you can understand this. So here the Buddha focuses a lot on this. The Buddha focuses a lot on respecting of father and mother. You can also refer to the Katanya Sutta. Katanya Sutta, the Buddha says that even if you have the opportunity to carry your father on one shoulder and your mother on the other shoulder for 100 years, and let them do their business on your shoulder for 100 years, you still cannot repay their kindness. That is how much you're obligated to your father, to your parents. It is not possible to repay the kindness. That's what the Buddha says. In the Katanya Sutta, the Buddha also says that. So now we know. But how to repay? How to repay your parents? The Buddha says there's one way you can repay your parents is to guide them on the correct path. Sometimes we have parents who like to play mahjong lah, let's say lah. They main mahjong all the time, weekend or mahjong, so we tell them to reduce a bit lah. We must help our parents to reduce some of the habits that we think are not helping them, not conducive in their spirituality. Guide them slowly and ask them to go to the temple and learn the Dhamma. And that is the way to repay them. You must try to convince them to follow the Dhamma, convince them to follow the Buddha, convince them to go to the temple. and learn the Dhamma. And that is the only way we can repay them. That's what the Buddha says. Okay? We must establish them in virtues. We must rouse the unbelieving parents and establish the conviction and virtues in them. That is our duty. Okay, that's duty for the adults. For the children, let's say there's some children listening now, the younger generation. One way to repay them today is study hard. Work hard, listen to your parents. You study very hard. When the parents say study, you study. Parents say this is not right, you must listen to your parents. Be an obedient child, and that is the way today to repay them. But not complete, but you are paying them slowly. For those of you who are still studying, or those of you who are very young children here, remember, my advice is to listen to your parents is one way of actually appreciating what they have done. Study well, bring good results home, and your parents will be very happy. I'm a parent before, so I know, and I'm still a parent today anyway. Okay, so that is the duty of Mata Pitu Patanam. So if you can support your father and mother, that is also the highest blessing. Okay? And then cherishing wife and woman, cherishing your wife and children. Like we said now, the duties of the husband and father. What is the duty of the father? Now let us revisit Anatha Pindika. He guided his son very well, knowing that his son was too much doing business, too much in the material world. He guided him into Dhamma. And that is the role of the father, must find the balance for your children. If you think they're going too much to a certain extreme, then we must pull him back. That is the role of the father and the mother. Okay. And then also we must learn to control our expenses. We learn to control our expenses. Now, this is a very important advice, right? You see, one day, there's another gentleman here. We have introduced you today, Mr. Diga Janu. Okay? In the Diga Janu Sutta, this Mr. Diga Janu, he went to see the Buddha. He asked the Buddha, Bante, now we lay people, we have families, We love the company of our family. We still love to wear nice clothes. Right? We love perfume still. We still love jewelry. That is because we are lay people. Now, tell us, what would be our duty? What is our duty? Okay, Mangala Sutta is one. Now, there's another sutta we have to refer you to is Diga Jan Sutta. So, the Buddha told him that actually, for you lay people, we must develop the 4 qualities. You have the 4 qualities to develop. And what are the 4 qualities? To be a successful lay people. See, let us come back to this point whereby we say Buddhism is not only about spirituality. It is about living a good life. That's why I said the 4 pillars. 4 pillars means we are 4 different people in the Buddhist community. We are the lay people, man lay people, and the lady lay people. Now, we have different start. I have said that earlier. We all have different start. The Buddha gave us a different start, but the end is still the road to liberation. Now, let us look into this. Now, when Diga Janu asked the Buddha, what is our role? The Buddha says, for lay people, these 4 qualities you must cultivate. What are the 4 qualities? To be a successful person, you must be innovative. Correct? You must have the initiative. Don't just laze around. Correct? Laze around and expect it to happen because your karma, I think it will happen. No, like I've said earlier, this karma today, yes, we are born in a good locality, maybe karma 100%, yes. But from then on, we have to change the karma again or continue with that karma again. We have to work very hard. We have to work. It can be changed. We don't work, it changes from good to bad, bad to good. I've told you now, correct? it can go to Jyoti, Tamo, Paraya, from good to bad. Okay? But if you are in the bad situation, we work hard, it's Tamo, Jyoti, Paraya. So the Buddha says that from you people, lay people, what you must do is you must have initiative and innovative. Whether you are farming, you're an engineer, you're a lawyer, you are a tailor, you're a technician, whatever it is, you must have the initiative and innovative when you do your job. Don't take things for granted. That's what the Buddha says. To be successful as a lay person. The second thing the Buddha says is you must be vigilant. Now, whatever money you have earned, you must be able to look after your money well. Don't let it just drain out like that. Don't just simply spend. So number two, the Buddha says you must learn to be vigilant with your money. You must learn to be consummate with your money. You must be careful with your money. That is the thing. Then number three is you must also protect your hard-earned money, Protect your hard-earned money from what? From thieves and kings and useless heirs. What does it mean? That means that whatever taxes you have to pay, you better pay lah. Don't go and do funny things lah, because then you become unhappy, you become very worried. So just follow like what we said, discipline. Earlier the Buddha says you must have discipline. Discipline to follow the house rules. Discipline to follow the rules of a country. You must follow. Then life becomes very conducive. You don't evade all these things. Then life becomes not conducive. And then you must become very vigilant, must be very careful. That is number three. Another time you use the word vigilant is to be very careful in life, not just take things for granted. And last, okay, there's number two. And number three, you must keep good friends. You must have good friends. Friends who will guide you to do good things. You must have good friends who doesn't keep you astray. Friends who doesn't tell you to go and drink at night, go clubbing at night, go astray at night, who doesn't come back. So these kind of friends, the Buddha says you must look after. Like the deity who went to tell, who told another Pindika that you don't give dana, you mustn't be in the company of such people. Okay? That means if you have such people, you must avoid lah. That is what the Buddha did. That's what another Pindika did. He chased the deity away from his house because these are bad company, no point. So you must have always good company, and also you must learn to control your budget. Correct? So these are the four things. You must learn to control your budget. You must know that if you earn so much money has to be spent. The detail you can read in Mangala Sutta or you read in the Jiga Janu Sutta. It will give you a proportion of how to spend your money. Okay, Jiga Janu, it says that even in Mangala Vada, it says that you take one portion of your salary, the first quarter you use for your daily expenses, the seventh quarter maybe for your investment, third quarter maybe some of charity, then the fourth quarter you save. So you must have that kind of budget. So that is what the Buddha says. So don't think that Buddhism is only spirituality. It teaches you to do this. And the Buddha says you must be careful of these four ways of draining out your money. There are four big drains in our life. These four big drains, you must be careful. Number one is humanizing. Don't humanize your money, sure finish. Okay? So that is what the Buddha says is the four good qualities you do and the four bad qualities you don't do. There is excessive humanizing, excessive liquor. You drink and bubble. And you do not know what's happening to you up there. Okay? The mind is clouded, finish. Right? That's why we say don't drink. And then number three, the Buddha says don't gamble. Gambling also, your money all will be finished. And don't keep the company of lousy friends. That's what the Buddha says. The company of lousy friends are not good. So the Buddha, remember another Pindika chased the deity away. So this is what we have to remember. And also, the roles of the father, the role of the mother. And now the Buddhas also spend some time also actually tell you on how to eat. You'll be surprised, the Buddha taught us how to eat also. The Buddha says when you eat, you make sure that your stomach, the only half full. Okay, the first half is for the food. Then the first quarter, first half is 2 quarters lah, okay. First quarter and second quarter for food. The third quarter, the Buddha says, reserve that for air. The fourth quarter, the Buddha says, reserve for water. So that is also the Buddha's advice on how to eat. So we remember why water. After eating, you have to drink. Okay. After that, when the food is digesting, maybe they produce a lot of gas. So sometimes you see people eating, they burp and burp and burp, because they do not have that space. So you must have that space for that gas also. So the Buddha says, eat first 2 quarters of food of the stomach, the third quarter for water, and the fourth quarter for gas. And that is the advice of the Buddha. And that with that, I think we have finished. Okay, we will finish stanza number 4, one more to go. Okay, one more quick one. One more to go is peaceful occupation. Here again, the Buddha says you must have blessings number 13 in stanza number 4. Stanza number 4, 13 blessing. It says peaceful occupation. Anakula Chakamanta. It is important that we are all working in a very peaceful occupation. This is Anakula Chakamanta. So peaceful occupation means when we do work, we don't want to do work that is very always conflicting with others, going to war with people, things like that. And also not forgetting, working outside conflicting also, but don't forget about those housewives at home. People who work at home, that's another highest blessing, because that one has no conflict with anybody. That one is actually looking after your family. And you work long hours with no complaints at all. Right? So this is also meant for Anakulata Kamanta, is peaceful occupation at home. Don't forget. Peaceful occupation outside and also inside your home. So the housewives are also considered that way. The Buddha has also looked after your interests. So with that, I think we are almost about time. I will round up with that. So we have covered stanza number 4, isn't it? Stanza number 4 and 13. We have so far covered 13 blessings. We have 38 blessings. Next week we need to rush all of you. Okay. So with that, I think I will hand over this to Brother Terence again. Sharing. Okay, let's do a sharing of merits. Like brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, we have spent an hour listening and sharing of the Dhamma and the highest blessings, the Mangala Sutta. And during such time, we have also accrued abundance of merits. And these merits were shared with all the gods and devas that are assembled here. And also to all our personal guardian deities. The guardian deities have been protecting us, protecting our family members. We share these merits with them. And may they rejoice in these merits. And eventually may they attain the bliss of Nibbana. By virtue of these merits, may we be blessed with good health, longevity, success, happiness, prosperity, and above all wisdom to understand the Buddha Dhamma and wisdom to walk the Buddha's path. And also we will recall to mind the names of our loved ones who have passed away, wherever they may be. May these merits reach them and help them in their spiritual well-being too. Wherever they are, may they too rejoice in these merits and may they too eventually attain the bliss of Nibbana. However, in the event if they need these merits to help them in their spiritual well-being, may these merits help them in their spiritual well-being. By virtue of these merits, may we be blessed with company of the good and the wise always. May we be blessed with teachers. May we have time dedicated also to learn the Dhamma. Let's all say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let us recite together the sharing of merits. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu loka sasanang akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu desanang akasatta ca bummatta Deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumodetva cirang rakhantu mang parang ettavata ca ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sappe deva sappe bhuta sappe satta anumodantu sappa sampatti siddhya idang me Nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Leng Huat. And everybody listening in, Didi Leng Huat will be joining us again next week on Monday, same time. And for a gentle reminder, tomorrow we are having Pante Prago. He'll be sharing on a new topic for tomorrow. The Zoom meeting will open at 8:15 and the talk will start at 8:30. Please join in early so there's no disruption. Thank you very much. Okay, good night, Li Ling Huat. Good night, everyone.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night.